Alright folks, we are continuing with our discussion of the Beastial Tribe series with the second book, Minotaur Prayer, written by Naomi Lucas. Now, of course, I read this book in a night. I'm a fast reader, so don't feel bad if you don't get through it very quickly, but I can assure you, you can't put it down. If only for the fact that this is a continuation of the great world building that comes with the Beastial Tribe series as a whole. Now, we are actually starting off this book with a character we have become slightly familiar with from the first book in the series, and that would be Calavia. And she is the witch hag that lives within the settlement of Prayer and provided Eldora and Veticus a place to sleep for the night before they continued on to the mountain where Veticus's brothers reside. And because she provides this kindness, she ends up becoming the target for the war band of centaurs that had originally been hunting Eldora at the beginning of the first book in the series. And as a result, Calavia ends up summoning a champion to her aid via her magic. And that champion ends up being one of the Minotaur brothers, and this is Astegar, who is the younger brother of Veticus and is considered more calculative and smart, basically. So he ends up being drawn there, much to his chagrin and his ill desire to be dragged there, and he reluctantly agrees to be Calavia's champion in the hopes of eventually being able to leave Prayer. In that time, romance ensues. Astegar shows Calavia the glories of being bedded and deflowered by a Minotaur. It was hot. There was a lot of hair pulling. I kind of like it. I would recommend, of course, as I did before, if you are not a fan of the hard BDSM, which is a bit more pronounced here in the second book, if only for Astegar's character, I would advise to steer clear of this book. So, my thoughts on it. I did prefer the first book in the series a bit more, if only because I preferred Eldora's more worldliness. She was a bit more aware of the world around her, and therefore a little bit smarter to it, and also a bit more witty to it. Whereas Calavia has resided in the maze since she was born, so she has had very little interaction with other people, even other beasties that reside in the maze with her. So, I would still recommend it, if only for the world building. I still enjoyed it. It just was not as good as the first book. Now, the third book is not out yet, but I will keep you guys posted, and until then, happy reading.